Most people are not living their lives. They are flinching through them. A comment ruins their mood. A delay changes their energy. An opinion from a stranger gets to shape their day. That is the reactive mind. And the reactive mind is easy to control. The fearless Stoic is different. He does not hand his peace to every inconvenience that appears in front of him. He does not react to every opinion, every slight, every interruption. He stays centered, untouched. Most people never realize how much peace they lose to things that never deserved a response. That is the trap. Because the moment you start reacting to everything, you stop directing anything. Stoic rules exist to break that pattern and teach you how to stop giving power to everything that enters your awareness, and it starts with one. Rule: control what enters your mind. The first rule is simple. What you consume shapes what you become. Fear, comparison, outrage, and distraction do not appear out of nowhere. They enter through constant inputs: social media, gossip, negative environments, and overstimulation. That is why noise weakens you, while discipline strengthens you. Distraction pulls you outward. Presence brings you back to yourself. Psychologically, this is easy to miss. Repeated inputs become repeated thoughts, and repeated thoughts become emotional habits. So the fearless person does not absorb everything. He curates his mind like something valuable. He is selective with what gets access because he understands that every input trains a response. Most people never realize they are training their own fragility with what they keep allowing in. And once that is clear, the next step is learning to separate facts from the stories your mind attaches to them, because not everything you feel is caused by reality. Some of it is caused by interpretation. The Stoics drew a line most people never see. There is what happened, and then there is the story you tell yourself about what happened. That gap is where fear grows. The mind assumes, it exaggerates, it catastrophizes, and suddenly a small event becomes a crisis. Epictetus understood this. Clearly, events do not disturb us, our judgments do. Marcus Aurelius lived by the same truth. This is the difference between assumption and clarity, reaction and wisdom, reality and interpretation. When interpretation is disciplined, fear loses half its power. You stop treating every feeling as fact. You stop reacting to shadows as if they were threats. If you keep believing every thought as truth, you will keep suffering over things that were never as bad as they seemed. And once your mind sees clearly, discomfort becomes the next test. Because fearlessness is not the absence of pressure, it is the refusal to obey it blindly. Fearlessness is not the absence of discomfort. It is the refusal to obey it blindly. The Stoic person feels anxiety, pressure, embarrassment, and uncertainty, but he does not surrender to them. That is the difference between impulse and principle, weakness and inner command. A weak mind says, "I feel uncomfortable, so I should stop." A disciplined mind says, "I feel uncomfortable, so I should move carefully." Psychologically, this matters because discomfort is often not a warning of danger. It is a sign that growth is near. Most people stay timid because they wait to feel ready. They never move until confidence arrives, and confidence never arrives because they never move. Do not confuse discomfort with defeat, and once you learn to move through it, the next step is letting go of what you cannot control, because fear becomes much lighter when you stop fighting reality itself. Here is where Stoicism becomes freedom. Let go of what you cannot control. Other people, timing, outcomes, approval. None of these are fully yours, and the more you try to force them, the more anxiety you create. Control-seeking promises relief, but it usually delivers exhaustion. Acceptance, on the other hand, creates strength. This is the difference between approval and self-respect, chaos and peace. Reacting to what you cannot control is like fighting the wind. It drains you, it humiliates you, it changes nothing. The hidden cost of resistance is constant emotional exhaustion, a mind that never rests because it keeps arguing with reality. Most people never realize the peace they keep chasing is already available once they stop wrestling what was never theirs to command, and once that is understood. The final rules turn control into identity, because real strength is not a single insight. It is a life built on disciplined repetition. Here are the final rules that build real fearlessness. Keep your word to yourself. Choose discipline over mood and face hard things on purpose. Fearless people are not born that way. They are trained through repeated action, not inspiration. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, self-trust grows. Every time you avoid what is difficult, that trust weakens. That is the difference between performance and authenticity, impulse and discipline. Performance looks strong when it is convenient. Authenticity stays strong when it is tested. The fearless man is not made in a single moment. He is built through 1,000 quiet choices that prove he can be trusted with his own life. And once that trust is built, the final shift is what he no longer allows to control him. Because when self-trust is strong, the fearless mindset becomes permanent. This is the reward of Stoic discipline. You are no longer ruled by panic, people's opinions, or sudden emotion. The world still moves. Other people still speak. Life still pressures you, but none of it owns you anymore. Weak people react to everything. Strong people respond from principle, and that changes your whole identity. You become calmer, mentally stronger, harder to provoke, and more self-respecting. You stop living like every moment deserves your nervous system. You stop giving power to things that were never worthy of it. That is the fearless mindset. Quiet, courage, inner authority, and a mind that can stand still when everything else tries to move it. If this gave you clarity, reflect on the rule you need most, comment with the one that hit hardest, and continue into the next lesson on Stoicism, discipline, or emotional mastery.